that's where I'll be. Shoulder me dying, got this truck flying, I'll be there on time. Heading down the highway looking for the rodeo sign. You might think it's crazy chasing this cowboy thing, making a living riding horses, bulls, and dreams.
Good evening and welcome to the legendary Gold Coast Hotel and Casino and National Finals tonight. Brought to you in part by Kentucky Fire, Maker's Mark, Pinnacle Vodka, Coors, 14 Hands Vineyards, Cooper Tires, Ram Rodeo, Justin Boots, National Cowboy Museum, Wrangler, Montana Silversmiths, Resist All Hats, Pepsi, Boyd Gaming. National Finals tonight with 8-time world champion bull rider Donnie Gay, 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver, and the men and women of the NFR. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Hey, it's so good to see you. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. We're glad to... Oh, my gosh, look at this over here. Must be the Frost family, huh? Very nice. Welcome, everyone, to National Finals tonight. We are so honored to have you with us after night number 9 here. We've got a lot of things to do, a lot of things to talk about, and a lot of prizes to give away to you as well. So settle in and sit back, and let's get this thing started here this evening. Let's bring out our co-hosts. This first gentleman I've worked with on television for 30 years, and I've loved every minute of it. The best bull rider ever. Would you welcome Donnie Gay is here tonight.
All right. Uh-oh.
Joe gets out here, so Joe wanted to get this out.
I gotta be nice. I got my family here tonight, so I am gonna be nice. Dan said he wasn't gonna pick on me, and
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts, huh? Let's bring our other co-host out here. He also is an 8-time world champion, and we are honored to have him here each and every night. Joe Beaver is in the house. Would you welcome Joe?
Big Joe.
Hey, I hate to tell you, but nobody came to see you or me tonight. The only reason I came because Neil Gay is here. I was afraid I maybe was supposed to be here and wouldn't be in trouble, so I'm here regardless.
Let's take care of a little business, and we'll welcome this gentleman here. We want to tell you, if you want to participate this evening here, it's easy to do, and questions are already coming in. If you would like to text those to us, the number is easy. It's 702-582-5638, and that number will be up on the screen and back behind us all evening long, and send up a question if you would like to join in with us. Also, tomorrow or tonight, if you want to watch this show on YouTube, any of the shows that you've missed, if you go to YouTube and just put in National Finals Tonight, all of the shows will come up. And also a highlight version of that is on the Wrangler Network each and every morning if I get up in time to do that. So let's welcome your royalty over here.
All right.
Kay,
Okay,
I saw that. Go that.
I got my mother and my dad, Neil and Kay Gay, sitting over here.
Stand up and say hello, Neil Gay.
My sister-in-law, Brenda. All right. We've got my aunt's daughter, Jana. She's here. We got Christy, friend of the family. You're gonna get to meet her in just a minute because I got her husband back there. And then you need to stand up, dude. Dude Smith, my dad's traveling partner. You know, his gold card number is 259. 259. Or no, excuse me, 159.
Yours is 259. His is 159. Shit. It's already set in. It's already set in. He can't remember already.
It's on a tattoo somewhere. I'm not sure where that's at.
Golly, I'm glad it's round 9.
We're honored to have all of you with us. Thank you. It's so good to see you. We have a question already here, gentlemen. Let's take a look at this. What is the judge standing on top of the timed event chute at the WNFR looking for,
It'd
Joe?
be better if they were standing outside.
Yeah, he might be looking for his glasses because he ain't seen shit this week. I can tell you that. They tried to find 3 or 4 guys for not nodding. And granted, this isn't the bull riding, but when a steer's laid upside down and his head's, the neck rope's on him and his feet, and they're saying, hurry up, nod. Jake Barnes, if Jake Barnes would have been the Jake Barnes of 1988, he'd have hit him the other night. Because this steer's upside down, they're all to hurry and nod, and finally it's the guy up there, and he finally says, look at the steer. And that guy looks down and says, oh, you can't nod yet. Ray Charles could see that.
I got one. Elliot Jacoby, it was Aaron Pass, is getting on his bull, and he's got his hand in his rope, got the wrap, bull lays down. So he spurs him, gets him up, jumps and kicks, and looses all, his rope is loose, and so he's going to have to re-pull. Well, he starts to re-pull, and the judge says, you can't re-pull, you got to nod. And it's his first NFR, so here he is fixing to get on his bull, and he's having to have a conversation with the judge.
See, that's when conversations with hands should be allowed. He is looking for somewhere to find the guy in the box for taking too long.
That's his job.
Or a foul of the rope hitting the chute or something. But I'm gonna say he's looking for fines.
But in defense of the judges, they are instructed. Every one of them have a stopwatch, and the rodeo has been within 6 minutes of each performance for 9 performances, and that is important. But
I'm not
you
saying
can
stop
go overboard and
production.
you can have a little common sense.
I'm not saying stop production because nobody likes to go to a 4-hour rodeo or jacking around doing it. I'm just saying sometimes they need a little common sense.
Well, I was just going to say, Donnie, we've done hundreds of rodeos at Mesquite Rodeo, and we never needed one of those guys because all that they needed was Neil Gay to come riding up on his horse toward them when they were trying to get ready. I've seen guys come out of the chute with no pants. Neil Gay is coming. Open the gate. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah,
So we didn't need
you didn't
that.
want to go to the shed. I can tell you that. That ain't no place to go.
First time they
Hell yeah, I remember the shed. I was there on a permit and seen the witness at the shed. I come riding back up and I said, I don't know who that old guy is back there, but that's just crazy. I said, why? I said, he just knocked the fire out of that guy down there. They said, was he an old guy? I said, well, then I was young. You looked old to me. I said, that's probably Neil. I said, Neil who? When they told me it was, from then on, boy, I was good at Mesquite. Maybe not nowhere else, but at Fort Worth and Mesquite, I minded.
Me too.
Still do, don't you?
In case you didn't get to watch the rodeo on television tonight, we have a highlight package put together for you, and Donnie and Joe are going to do it just like they do on television. This is round number 9. Started off with the bareback ride, and Donnie, take it away if you will.
All right, Casey Field. He is gunning for another world championship, and he's got dirty rags, nice bucking horse. But if you watch round 1 through 9, he has looked the very same on every bucking horse. He's not drawn the best horses. He's not won as many go-rounds as he'd like, nor me neither, because I have him on my fantasy team. But he was 85.5 tonight, and we're looking better.
We're looking better because I averaged 2. I got him on mine, too. Steer Wrestling, Dakota Eldridge. This is as hard of a hit as you can take and not knock you out. When he's made his move to throw that steer threw his head up and hit him. I'm not exaggerating. When he came out of the arena, he was in convulsions.
The lights are on, ain't nobody home.
Tandy Freeman had him, but watch the difference. This horse runs by this steer. When he throws his head, he drops his left horn. So that left horn hits him right below the ribs, and he had the shakes going on out back. Here's the deal. He said, if I could just get to the nose, I could throw him, but I could not breathe. Threw him in 3-3, 1 to go around. Finally in the team roping.
Finally.
Rich Skelton's daughter's been here all week with a sign, and she's done nothing but sit on it. Tonight, she finally gets to get the sign up and says, go, Dad, go. Nick Sartain, former world champion. He hadn't turned the steer that good all week. Rich Skelton's had a red rope all week. I said, why don't you try another color? Green wins around.
All right, in the saddle bronc riding, this is where everything gets started. Got to ride these nice broncs. This is an easy event. So you can ride broncs till you're 40-something. We saw Billy Ettenbauer show everybody how to do it. Wade Sundale gets the whistle, does the flying dismount. You can see He's not just hopping right up. He is actually really hurt. I mean, he did something to his back. They still don't know the extent, but whenever he gets a chance to get those legs straight, set his feet, I thought he was, I thought there were 2 or 3 bronc rides that were just as good, but, he won first, got to take the victory lap 82.5.
8 years since Cade Sewell last made the national finals. Most time that means your career is done. French fry done. It's not for Cade Sewell. He bought a new horse, got a new girl, got a whole new look on life, and look at him now, he's winning. They always said a good girl and a good horse will make you famous. One bad each will starve you to death. Trevor Brazil, he got a good horse and a good winning attitude. He sticks it on this calf. He's still trying to win a gold buckle. He had just missed in the team roping and probably cost him and his partner a world championship. What does he do? They say, how's he going to rebound? He rebounds in 7.6, splits the go around with Cade Sewell. This race is not over by no means.
Good tie down roping tonight.
How about Trula?
Okay, she's been running great off, but she's knocked down some barrels whenever her horse has worked the best. But it's really been more difficult in the barrel race this year than I remember in the last 7 or 8. But watch this horse drive out of these barrels. And the ground seems to be holding way deep underneath, but it's slick on top. Not enough clay in it, but you see that barrel? It nearly goes over. She almost did it again.
As long as it doesn't roll, it's good.
1367, and in the bull riding is this boy, Sage Kimsey, doing some bull riding. He is as comfortable. This is another day at the office for this kid. 87.5 points. He can't do anything wrong right now, and that's great. If he rides tomorrow, he's ridden 8 out of 9 so far. He'll ride 9 out of 10. But it ain't over yet for the average. He's won the World Championships, won the Rookie of the Year. The only thing that hasn't been done, Bill Cornell won the Rookie of the Year, the World Championship in the bull riding. Bill Cornell was 18. Sage is 20. Bill, his rookie year, won 2nd in the average in Los Angeles when the national finals was out there.
So if he wins the average, he'll be the first
if he wins the average, new set of records in the record book for Sage Kimsey. I told him,
they might ought to sharpen their pencils and rewrite it.
I said, Sage, you just got your first world title. You're 20 years old, same age I was when I won my first world title. How many are you going to win?
Did he answer 9?
He just grinned. This is a really nice kid.
He is. He is a great young man. Good job, guys.
If he wants to, he may be able to.
Got another question came in. I want to ask both of you a question. Have you ever seen anybody at the NFR win a round on a rewrite? And the reason I ask you, tonight, I love the way Bobby Moat rides bareback horses. I just do. I love his style. I thought, and I think they marked him 83 and a half. But have you ever seen anybody in the rewrites win a round?
Yeah.
It does happen here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It happens. The worst thing it seems like here with 15 out every night in every performance, it's usually the guy, the first 2 scores. The horse riding's a lot harder to judge than the bull riding, because most everybody makes the whistle except for the eliminator pins. But when you're the first score, that sets the mark. And so if they don't get it not only correct, if they don't get it to where they have some room, top and bottom, they're going to have to forget the first guy, even if they don't want to. Yeah, even if it's good. And that's what's happened all week long. The last 2 nights hadn't been, too bad, but it's just an opinion, and I still think they ought to take mine and yours.
Well, you're being a lot nicer here than you were back there about talking about. Let's not even have that.
My mother's here.
Your mother is here.
I was going to say, there's something different because you sure are being polite tonight.
I'm glad you're here, Kay.
You're still scared of him, aren't you?
Yeah.
This one, I don't know the answer to this, and I don't know if you guys know. They're asking about will there be more seating added next year.
I don't know, but they're adding a truckload more money.
Yes.
So I don't know if they're adding seats or not. I think they're doing some reconfiguration and the whole back side of the Thomas and Mack. If you happen to get on, it's all under construction. But pretty soon we're going to be in the English class over there.
They said all I know about the ad and how much they're doing. They are doing something because the elevator man, the doorman know all the secrets, good and bad. If you live in a building with one. And Harold, the elevator man, I asked him tonight, is it going to be the same every year? Do I see you every year the same? He said, nope. We're going to have a fast elevator next year and a lot more room. So something's up. The elevator man spoke.
Cool.
Believe it.
Got it from the top.
Believe it.
All right. Let's get it started here with our first guest. I'm so glad to have this young man out here and what we've talked about this year. Joe, people were asking me about Marty Yates, and he just is throwing and going, had a rough couple of rounds. But this new crop of young kids.
All the rookies. Unbelievable this year.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
and this guy is right at the top of the list. He is a bull rider extraordinaire. We're glad he's back here with us. Joe Frost is in the house tonight. Would you welcome this young man?
Come on out here, Big Joe.
Joe boy.
He's comfortable sitting by Joe because he works both ends of the arena.
He does.
He gets
He
down
does.
there.
Works
He goes
them well.
slumming with the timies sometimes.
And when he's hurt, needs rehab and stuff, we fix him and send him back to that easy end so he can go back there and have fun.
That's exactly right.
Great job tonight, Joe.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, coming into the last 3 rounds, after the 4th round, I realized that the easiest rounds to ride in are the first 3, and they're probably going to be the last 3, because in the middle, that's where a guy's really got to be mentally tough, and that's what Denny Flynn said. You know, you really got to be mentally tough through the middle set of them, because everyone comes in excited, and at the end, we're down to the wire, and everybody you can see the finish line, and everybody's really ready to ride and rope, or whatever event they're ready to finish strong.
And do you agree with that, Donnie? That's an interesting
I
analogy.
do, because and especially the younger guys that hadn't been to many NFRs, because for me, I was as excited as any of the rookies. Hell, the 13th time I came to the NFR, first time it was here. And if you don't get off to a good start, all of that air and energy that you come here pumped up and the excitement, it goes out, and I mean it goes out in a hurry, and you can't do anything about it. You basically have to kind of hitch your pants up, grow up.
Not even just a rookie, Donnie. We talking about the other night, you and I. Look at Shane Hinchy.
Yeah.
Last year he places in 8 or 9 rounds and wins the average and wins the world, and has one tonight. They tied in 7 twice, and I should be able to tape one hand behind his back and cut half his foot off. He tied him in 10, and he was 15 or 20.
J.W. Harris.
Yep.
He has had a rough finals. He is so beat up. Him and Bo Hill. I mean, they can just barely walk across the dressing room at this point. And it wasn't a month ago. J.W. Harris won 2nd at the PBR finals. So there's nothing wrong with his riding at all. But those bulls, they don't read your resume. If they did, me and you'd still be roping and riding. You have to perform every single time, every single jump. And sometimes there's not a lot. You just have to lay there and take it sometimes.
Well, and these are the top 100 bulls in the PRCA, and one little mental mistake, and you're picking yourself up out of the dirt, and hopefully you ain't got a broke leg or a broke arm.
Let's take a look, Donnie, at his work. Outstanding ride tonight, I thought, Joe. And let's take a look at that, guys, if we could. Great ride in round number 9. Right there.
The bull just jumps out, turns back to the left, getting kind of high in the front end. But I just want you to watch the rhythm that he's got with his free arm and everything. And, I'm thinking that bull starts spinning right in front of the chutes, and he fades out, and he's almost 3/4 of the way to the barrel. Degree of difficulty, the bull's not flat, he's kicking, he's bucking. Joe rides him so stinking easy. They've shorted you a couple of points on every time you've made the whistle this week, in my opinion. And every single time. And I've visited with a few people, they did Jim Sharp the same way. My brother would say he's the most boring bull rider I've ever seen. He'd just ride, 10 out of 10, but he'd just never move or very little. But for about 2 or 3 years, they didn't give him the points that they'd give Tuff Hedeman or Adriano or whoever. It's happening to you here on the, because you've ridden enough bulls where everybody's kind of getting in tune to what you can do. And the couple that's bucked you off, you rode them 7 point something, which is pretty good. But don't change a thing.
Well, no,
that's good.
You've seen when I change it, they're shorting me a few seconds of the whistle.
And that's a heck of a lot worse than a couple points, isn't it?
It's way worse. I'd rather be 70 points than 7 seconds. Any day of the week.
You talk about how the ride felt tonight, Joe, because it looked just comfortable.
It felt good. Trey Benton got on that bull in the first round, and it don't matter what Trey gets on. He makes him look like there's 95 points, and so he looked like he'd be pretty neat. I was pretty tickled when I seen what I had drawn.
He rode him like that. That's the one that Trey rode right to the whistle and held onto the tail of the rope to just the bitter end. And bucking son of a gun. And he's that same bucking son of a gun tonight.
Two different styles, two different
with
people.
Him, and nobody was talking about it. And I'm going, I didn't miss anything. That was a great bull ride. And it's a lot of fun to watch you guys in the locker room. But, how much do you think about average livestock draw? Well, I know you don't think much about whatever it is. All you're really concerned with is which side they're going to load him and when is my turn. But what about the average, the go buckles, and what do you have in store for everybody out here that watches that's a fan? What are we going to see from Joe Frost in 2015?
Well, that's pretty much all we got to look forward to for that. I done messed that up this year because I fell off everything till June, and then I fell off of 3 bulls here. But
you only have one more semester of college.
Yep, one more semester. It's probably going to be the toughest one. I got 19 hours because I kept having to drop classes because I wasn't at school. But
I don't know what you're talking about there.
You just went way over Donnie's head.
But, yeah, the goals, as long as I'm rodeoing and riding bulls, my goal is going to be the world's champion bull rider.
What about, I got something else. There's another little award they give to a guy that can win in more than one event.
The Linderman?
The Linderman Award. And this guy this year went trouted in there, and there's been about 3 guys. Trellette Bauer, Kyle Whitaker. Who else? Is that it, maybe? Dominated that award for the last 10 years. Guess what? New guy in town. This guy ropes calves good. He bulldogs good. And he rides bulls really good. You going to play with a little more maybe next year?
No, that's the other thing. As long as I'm rodeoing and as long as I'm riding bulls, that'll be one of my goals is to win. Because I ain't going to start riding broncs and barebacks. I done tried that, and I wasn't very good at either of them. But, the Linderman Award, that's as important to me as making the national finals and winning the world title.
That's a special award. I mean, that takes a special type of person. We know you work both ends of the arena, man. That's something special. And I said it before a million times, and I'll say it again. I've got all-around buckles. Ty's got all-around buckles. Trevor's got all-around buckles. But, the last year all-around cowboy is Phil Lyon. He's both ends of the arena. And I'm not going to give them back by no means, and I'm not going to give back the bonus money. But these are the kind of guys, there's a few of them that have the chance maybe to be the true all-around guy.
I went to the gold card function this afternoon, and Larry Mahan was one of the MCs, and you didn't have, you're too young to have really seen much of Larry, and of course we didn't have a lot of video and films.
I've seen him on some film.
But he came to the national finals 11 or 12 times in all 3 rough stock events, 3 head every night for 10 nights, starting in 1963 to 1973. And do you think that you would be able to, in this setting, be able to ride bulls and bulldog enough to be able to make the finals in 2 events?
I would really like to, and I think after once I graduate college and I ain't got to go back and take a test Monday or do homework last night till 2 in the morning. But
at the NFR, that's one of the reasons I didn't go.
But that's what I would sure enough like to in the future. That'd be the neatest thing in the world.
The other was I failed the entrance exam.
I didn't know you took it.
I did. My daddy drove me to Stephen F. Austin, and I graduated from high school with B's and C's, and I opened up this test book to take this dang test. It looked like it was something for an astronomy class. I'd never seen anything in it, so I think I made about a 20 on this test, and so I told Dad, I said, I really don't think I want to go, and so we drove back to Mesquite.
It was
you had a lot to learn to even get there.
Yeah.
It was actually basic multiplication. But I'm looking there at your buckle, Joe, National Collegiate Champion as well. As we're sitting here, I think back to Shane Proctor, too, who was in school, and he would go to a college rodeo, win the bull riding, win the calf roping, win the bulldogging, and an all-around athlete. So in college, this buckle is for bull riding or for all-around?
This is the 2014 Collegiate National Championship buckle in the bull riding. At all the college rodeos, I enter all three events. I enter the team roping too, but it's just for fun. Usually my horse is bucking, or I don't even own a team rope.
Well, your grand entry horse was bucking yesterday.
He's bucked 4 out of the 9 nights in the warm-up area.
You got an unfair advantage. You're already warmed up.
I'm the center of attention in the warm-up arena.
Joe, you've got a lot of family over here. By golly, let's have you say who is here with us tonight.
Okay. Starting on the left side here, this is Jake, stand up. This is my little brother, Jake Frost. He's a pretty tough little dude. He
can ride. He can ride too. I've seen him.
And this is my little sister, Jacelyn Frost. She can rope breakaway and tie goats as good as anybody, or better, at 10 years old. And then my dad, Shane Frost. And there ain't about anything he can't do and do perfect.
He's buckle over there.
And he won the first round in the bull riding at the national finals this year. And then my mom, Lisa Frost, I wouldn't be here without her. And then in the blue jack, this is my girlfriend, Kylie Cahoy. She ran the timer on quite a few of the practice bulls this last month.
Are you letting her make the deposits yet?
Why don't you just go on and here, let's find a big bus for him to drop you under.
And then behind her is my Uncle Clyde Frost, been one of my heroes for...
He's one of my heroes, too, yeah.
Clyde, yes.
Oh, boy, I hope he doesn't get over there in between my daddy and Dude Smith. We'll have to raise the rating up on this, to X.
And then next to him is Aunt Elsie, and she's been... They've been grandparent figures to me the last 4 years since I've moved to Oklahoma. And then over here on the right, this is be my dad's first cousin, Kerry Frost, and his wife, Scarlett. And I think that's actually everybody. And behind them is the 1982 World's Champion bull rider, Charlie Sampson.
Yes, sir.
Charlie!
Yes, sir.
I finally made friends with him.
You must owe him money. How's that?
Well, no, I won the world in 74, 5, 6, 7. I'm not talking about Butch Kirby in 78, and then 79, 80, 81. And then I'm thinking I'm going to just go right on. And he was the 82 world champion. I stayed home and sulked in 83.
It's good to have you here.
We're glad you're here, Charlie.
Yep, good to have you here with us. Great group of family, great group of support.
No, it is. I'm the luckiest guy in the world when it comes to the support group I have with my family and everybody that helped me get on these 30 head of bulls before I came here. I mean, that's a lot of bulls, and them guys came out there in Goodwell. The guys on the team came out and pulled the gate, and they ran the stopwatch and pretended to fight the 2 nicest bulls in the world. And I think it mostly made them feel cool, but and the rodeo team and the coaches at Goodwell, Oklahoma, I'm blessed to have everybody support me that I've got.
It means a lot. We're glad that you're all here with us tonight. And Joe, we can't thank you enough for coming back out tonight.
Well, he's coming here. I asked him. He's got his rope put up, and he's got all of his family here. NFR. He's trying to win the championship of the world, and what I like best about this show is these guys are gracious enough to come out and share their time and a little bit of insight into their regular life with y'all, because he knows y'all are fans of professional rodeo.
Give him a hand. Joe Frost.
We couldn't do it without you guys.
Joe, excellent.
Come on, use your feet, use your hands.
I didn't see Clyde and Elsie whenever I came in. For those of y'all if you didn't know, that's Lane Frost, Mom and Dad, and we're just so thankful to have them in the rodeo family. Just been I think Clyde's been knowing me since I was really short.
A couple of years. Excellent, Joe, and he's riding so well. Excellent. Let's bring this next man out, and then we're going to do some talking rodeo. You know, every night in the rodeo and the bronc and the saddle bronc and the bareback riding, you see the pickup guys come riding in there and making a difference. And this is the first time we've had a chance to get these guys out here. And we have one of them with us here this evening, Josh Edwards, pickup man at the National Finals Rodeo. And we'd like you to welcome him, and we're going to talk about what he does here. Josh Edwards.
I've been all my
Come on in here, buddy.
The traffic jams are just something when you rock about a pickup man.
Josh, thank you for coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is new to me.
Josh, we're so glad to have you here this evening. And we all know that he's a pickup man. What you may not know is this guy is a stunt man and been in some of my favorite movies, True Grit, and lots of commercials, and 7 Days in Utopia. I love that with Robert Duvall, a friend of mine from
He's a
Cody,
pilot.
directed that. Now he's a pilot, and here at the National Finals Rodeo. And so how do you work all of this in? And tell us about being here at the NFR.
I'm not sure how I get it all done every day, I guess. I kind of have career ADD. I just kind of jump around, and I just like to do a lot of different things, and it keeps me interested. And so as far as how I got here, I'm still not really all that sure. It's kind of a blur, but I've been working on it for a long time. I started 15 years ago picking up actually for these people sitting right out here, the gays. That's where I started picking up. I was a calf roper, a timed event guy, and I would go to the rodeos and enter the calf roping, and my girlfriend at the time was one of the timers, and so I'd kind of hang out and wait till she got done. And Donnie's brother Jim asked me one day, he said, "Would you like to learn how to pick up?" And I thought, well, I don't even really know what that is or what that means. I thought they just bucked horses so they give the timed event guys time to change horses and get ready for the next one, but
He was listening to Joe.
But
I was going to say, you could have skipped that part right here. We're in mixed company, you know.
But you know, then I started, and well, I was hooked. I was hooked from the very first time, and eventually it got to be where I would enter less and pick up more until finally I don't think I ever retired from roping calves, but it's been almost probably 8 years since I've tied one, and you know, it just seems to just pick up where it left off.
It's a
on this
team
point.
effort. You and Chase Servey are the pickup men this year, and we put together just a little bit of footage so that we can take a look at you guys to work in the bareback riding. And if we've got that up back there, Jason, let's take a look at it and just kind of watch them riding in. And Donnie and you and Josh can talk about their responsibilities.
Okay, you guys bring your own horses. Is that right?
Yes, sir. We each brought. They allow us to bring 6 here, so we bring the 6 best we can put together.
Teamwork, you know, you never really notice the pickup men until you have some that aren't very good. And, you know, and
If they're doing their job, it's like they're never there.
And that's what they're supposed to do. It's supposed to be a seamless transition. And you see Josh, you see the other one, if he's not in position to get the cowboy, the other one's making sure the horse doesn't stop, duck back in under him. And then once Josh sets the cowboy down, then the other one is already set to go retrieve the flank off the bucking horse. And bronc riding, you got to go gather them up. And you get voted on to pick up at the national finals, just like the bullfighters and the barrel men, any of the contract people in the business, by the guys in the bareback riding and the bronc riding. And you know, it's not that you're not good, but y'all are really good. But there's some other young pickup men out there. So do the bareback riders fire a guy for doing good? So you might see a guy picking up for 5 or 6 years. This is Chase's second year, I believe,
Right.
to pick up here. But, you know, gosh, I remember Larry Kane and some guys, they picked up for probably 10 years. And so there were hundreds of pickup men that had good horses, qualified, that never got the job. So I know, talking to you a couple of years ago at San Angelo, you were picking up there and you were a little frustrated.
Yes, sir. You know, that's kind of been an ongoing deal. And it's like you said, there's a lot of guys that can do this job and do it well, that ride nice horses, and that are just as talented and just as handy to be in this position. And it is a hard thing to do because you don't qualify for it. You know, there's no money won, there's no amount of rodeos. You know, it's basically goes off a vote. So you're selected on who gets to come. And, you know, sometimes there's a lot of things that factor into that on that selection. So it doesn't always, you know, maybe it's not, you know, there's guys that may do 5 rodeos a year that could be the handiest guy in the world, but he never gets seen by half the guys that are voting. So, you know, it's for a long time, probably 7 or 8 years there, I went to over 30 rodeos, did over 140 performances a year trying to reach my goal to make the national finals. And last year, I was waiting for the phone call. I was on the short list again. The way they do it, they vote for anybody that does this job. And then they tally all those votes and they select the top 4 vote getters. And then those guys vote again and pick 2 out of that 4. I've been on that short list 6 times. I've been alternate 3 times at the NFR. So it's starting to kind of feel like I was the bridesmaid a lot. And last year...
About time to check that vote, wasn't it?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, last year they called me. I was filling in a rodeo in Henderson, Texas, and they called at 7 o'clock and said, well, you're alternate again. I thought, well, all right. At 9 o'clock, I was in an ambulance. Horse stumbled and rolled over the top of me and crushed my collarbone and shoulder and had a bunch of plates and screws put in it. And so I went home and, you know, we had a pretty overwhelming experience the next couple of weeks about life and how things go. And I think it was funny. I even told my wife, there she is right there. I said, you know, make sure you leave this phone here close because everybody's going to be wanting to call and make sure I'm okay. And after about the 3rd day, I thought, that thing's on, isn't it? I mean,
welcome to Pro Rodeo.
You talk about humbling. Now, I thought, well, golly. But, you know, in that next few weeks, it gave me the opportunity to really take a step back and reprioritize some things. So last year, I went to 10 pro rodeos, least amount I've ever done since I've been a member of this association. And they called me and said I was on the short list of the NFR, and I thought, well, that makes no sense at all, but okay, I'll take it. And then the next week, they called and said, you're going to the NFR. And, you know, it was such an emotional experience for us that, in my mind, there's a reason why, and we won't go into all that with everybody here, but, you know, I got things prioritized right, and, you know, now here we are, and I got to finally fulfill that 15-year, you know, dream. And it's an honor for me to be here. I've worked a long time and been yelled at a lot. Where's that guy? Right? There he is right there. But it was all in...
the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
But, you know, it's been a wonderful experience for me. And people ask me every night, you know, what's it like? Are you enjoying it? I mean, I'm having as much fun as when I ride in there tonight as I did the first night. From what I remember, I don't remember most of it because I was so overwhelmed. But
have you ever, when you were starting, got jerked right off the horse?
You know, we don't really like to tell that, but in 15 years, I've hit the ground 5 times. I know every guy that did it, and I know exactly where it happened. Because you don't, you know, most of the time it's a mistake that you make, or you're trying to help somebody and they're in a bind, and, you know, you just go down with the team, I guess.
You know, whenever you're supposed to be seamless and nobody notice you and everything, and whenever you and another guy are piled up on top of one another in the arena, it's hard to look cool.
Your horse is running around the arena trying to do his job, right. No jockey. It's kind of like that dog and that monkey. If that dog goes underneath that trailer and that monkey gets whacked, you know, it's pretty hard to recognize. I think he is tied on.
What really shows the most, I got pulled off one year at Denton, Texas, and I was riding a horse that I'd had for a few years, and he stayed with the bucking horse the whole time. So at that point, I was exposed. Sammy Andrews was the contractor, and he's like, well, you're not the guy doing all the work. That horse knows what he's doing. You're just riding him. And I said, well, hate that you learned that, but yeah.
It's a good thing, Joe, that we didn't have to qualify for the national finals on that popularity vote. We'd have never, ever made the finals.
When he was saying that, I was thinking to myself, man, I don't know that I got any votes, much less short list. Hell, I'd never made a long list.
And you know, that's the disconcerting part about it sometimes, because you know there's two facets that's going on when you're picking up broncs. You got the guy that's paying you, and you got the guy that controls your destiny, basically.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you what. If I knew his vote cost me a trip, I would drop him every time. Every time I'd be like, I
guarantee you, he is telling the truth.
I may not get to go next year, but it wouldn't be because of his vote.
That's right. Well, I tell you what, sometimes you really find out what you're made of when you know that guy didn't vote for you and he's in a bind.
Oh, hell no. No, if I knew for sure, I'd drop him every time.
I tell you what.
So these are just little inside tidbits that you might look for.
Yeah.
Two years ago at the All-American Finals at Waco, after they voted and I didn't make it, I had 9 guys come up and say, I don't know what happened. We voted for you. Well, I called the office, and they said, you got 8 votes. So I went back, and I said, all I know is one of you's a liar. And since I don't know which one it is,
all of y'all.
Tonight would not be the night to get hung up in the bareback riding.
I bet we don't want you to get away before talking about being a stunt man, and you've done a lot of big movies and been a stunt man, from being on horseback to playing hockey.
I love it whenever he's doing the movie thing. You can always tell because his beard starts getting a little bit, you know, that shaggy look, and then all of a sudden you'll look and he'll have a little ponytail begin to, you know, get out there. So. I'm thinking, he's back in being pretty.
I used to wear it in a kung fu ponytail up on top under my hat, and Jim loved it at Fort Worth. He thought it was the greatest thing. But the stuntman deal. Since I was a little kid, I wanted to be a stuntman. My favorite show was The Fall Guy when I was growing up. But you know, when you go to career day in high school, nobody ever thought to bring a stuntman. They brought a CPA and a banker and whatever else. So. I happened to have a horse fall on me one time, and a guy said, you should be doing that in the movies. And I said, well, where do I sign up? You know, I've been wanting to do this my whole life. And it just kind of snowballed into, you know, I got to go to do some stuff, and I learned how to skate and did a hockey movie. And my little boy and I have done a Stetson hat commercial. And, you know, the thing about that business, it's pretty finicky, and for the reason that the job you have is the last one you have until you hustle up another one. And when I first started, I really hustled trying to get in. And now I know a few guys that are coordinators or producers. And when they work, I work. And when I don't, you know, I don't shag it as much. I pick up some
What was it
broncs.
like working with John Wayne?
I never got. You mean like Alan Jordan, the modern day John Wayne?
Yeah.
You know, I got to work. I've gotten the opportunity to work with Robert Duvall, and he's one of the greatest guys. You know, he's just like your grandpa. He's a really nice guy. Put both my kids on his lap and wanted to talk about rodeo, and I wanted to talk about movies, and he didn't care anything about that. He wanted to know about picking up, and I thought, man, that's nothing compared to what you're doing. But you know, you get to meet some really talented and cool people that have great life experiences that they share with you, and you know, I just try to take it all in anytime I'm in that environment.
Well,
you know,
you've had a great life experience as well. We're glad you came to be with us tonight. I learned something tonight just having you with us.
Shoot, yeah, I appreciate you inviting me. It's been a lot of fun. And
we've never had the pickup men on, and I was talking to my wife Terry, and she said, why haven't you had the pickup men on? And I said, just didn't think about it. They're seamless, and they do.
Well,
of course, I'm locked in the bull rider locker room, so I don't actually get out to see the bareback riding in the building. I just watched it on the monitor, you know, where I'm at in my little post, and
right.
So it was an honest mistake.
Well,
glad
you know,
came.
It's like you said a while ago. You know, there's so much going on, especially at the national finals with sponsors and announce, you know, everything that they have to do, and. You know, every once in a while, you know, we get recognized. Most of the time, it's if something goes really bad, they go, "Ooh, that was Josh Edwards and Chase Servey," you know. But for the most part, if they don't mention our name, it's because we've done it the way we were supposed to do it, and that's just kind of the way our profession is. You know, you ride in, you do your job, nobody even really notices that you're there, and you ride out, and you're kind of like
guarantee
Shane at the end of the movie. You
These
just
guys
ride
will all
away.
be watching you tomorrow night. I sure will as
Don't
well.
fall
Don't
off
put
tomorrow.
the pressure on me. I don't want
'cause
to
they're gonna be
mess
watching.
up.
Give him a hand, will
You know,
Josh
because it's
Edwards?
live TV,
No
Josh.
kidding. No kidding.
Yeah, and if you take a look at his wife, you'll know he's got real good eyesight.
He picks up more than bronc riders and bareback horses. Picks up good-looking women.
That was nice to have Josh here.
Yes, it
I
was.
enjoyed that. Let's talk some rodeo, and let's talk with the guys that are the best in the business at it.
Gurus.
The gurus are here tonight. Yeah, Bob Tallman and Boyd Polhamus are here. Would you welcome them, please? Nighttime time.
The man.
25.
I started to say, don't say what you said.
Bring
Boy,
us
Chase
another
Sherman,
chair.
I thought, Josh, don't do it. Don't stop.
Go ahead,
back
Boyd.
there.
Sorry, I should have grabbed you.
Okay, two quick
Go
stories.
ahead.
Number one is when my wife found out that Josh and Chase were selected to work the national finals, both of them, very deserving. Him long overdue. He could have been here 4 years ago. He probably should have. He's nobody's man. He works for a bunch of different stock contractors, so there's no one person pushing him. He's just working, and he should have been here. But my wife went, God, they're missing a marketing opportunity. Both these guys are so good looking. They're absolutely. So she gets a T-shirt that says, I just came to look at the pickup men, WNFR 2014. So you got to admit, say what you will, both Josh and Chase, easy on the eyes if you're a lady. Second thing, the one thing he never discussed with you when you were discussing his work in the movies, okay? 7 Days in Utopia with Robert Duvall, done all these kind of movies. I call him Hollywood, and I have him in a lot of places. I'm going to tease you for something tomorrow night that's fixing to happen. He don't even know, okay? But we should give him credit for his work in the movie Brokeback Mountain. He did all the love scenes. He's a stunt man in all the love scenes, and he can imitate a goat better than any man I've ever seen imitate a goat.
Tell him
You
about
should have left when you had the chance.
Now, one other thing. Him and J.W. Harris, okay, they have this little deal going that one of them's going to tackle the other one at a rodeo somewhere. So we're in Saxon, it's muddy, it don't matter. Last year, Josh got J-Dub. I was holding his shaft. She's like, dude, when this bull riding's over, I'm giving you my shafts, and I'm getting J.W. Harris. Well, Dodge City, J-Dub gets him. So J-Dub comes up to me the first night of the rodeo and he goes, let me tell you something. 10th round, Josh Edwards goes down. Okay, so 10th round, end of the bull ride, and rodeo's over. J-Dub will buck in the middle somewhere. You need to be on your guard because his ass is coming to
Hey,
get you.
all you're going to have to do is just give him a little thump on the
J-Dub
head.
is moving so slow right now. The only way he's going to catch him is if he finds him asleep.
But if you catch him when he's trying to catch you, then it's self-defense, and the jails are filled with guilty people who confess. So just go, just go do what you got to do. Seriously, this man's my brother. I love him, and I'll tell you an off-the-record story. 2 years ago, I was like, how this man has not been to the National Finals rodeo is beyond me. I don't know, how can you get better than what Josh Edwards does? And I had a top 15 bareback rider come up to me and say, listen, I'll pick who goes, not you, okay? So to the extent that I was simply trying to point
We're
out.
dropping him every time.
I never told Josh who this guy is. I shared the story with him.
And I asked.
He asked. I said, I will not share. I will not share, and I won't share today. The point simply being is hey, there's some politics involved. It isn't just about ability. There's some politics. So when I got the call from Josh this year that he was going, I said, listen, you've deserved to go for a long time, but you earned to go this year. You've earned the right to be there. Because the guys who had the choice to decide wasn't me. I don't have to nod my head on these buckets of bucks and ask somebody to come save me. Those guys do, and to a certain extent, the top 15 guy had a point. He wasn't wrong. It's his choice. All I was going is, how can somebody as good as Josh Edwards not ever be at the national finals? And that was really my point. It wasn't to say that the bareback riders or the silent bronc riders were getting it wrong. It was just, man, are we overlooking somebody that deserves that buckle? Because in my humble opinion, they were. But again, it's not my decision. But at the end of the day, there's a guy up there that keeps track of things and not us. And that guy up there finally sent this guy right here, and I'm glad he's here.
Mighty good. Stay right with us, Josh. Just stay right there with us.
Yeah, the only thing I disagree with anything and everything that you say, which is rare, is the fact he does have one cheerleader, and his name is Paul Riggs. Yeah. Paul Riggs is his father-in-law, and
Which, have you seen his wife? She's freaking hot.
Paul Riggs' his wife.
We've already brought that up.
I done told him.
You're talking about his mother-in-law?
She's hot too.
Quick break on that. I'm going to introduce Christy to the bosses here, Jackie Ferrando here in Boyd Gaming, and I said, Jackie, this is Christy Edwards. I went to school with, and Jackie looked at me, she said, you didn't go to school with her. And I said, you interrupted. I went to school with her daddy.
Boyd, let's get caught up here while we've got some time.
You ready?
Let's find out. Yes.
9th round. Okay. Casey Field covers his horse. He's the world champion. If he doesn't, there are 10 guys on 9 head. Well, Casey's not going to drop so far that he's not going to get some kind of piece of that last little average check. But it would take Austin Foss winning the round and one or several of those other guys that have been on 9 to score more points on 10 than Casey did on 9. So Casey Field, in my humble opinion, yeah, he's your world champ. Steer wrestling, similar situation. Luke, all he's got to do is throw one down, and for the record, he's got a 7.5-second lead on the number 2 guy in the average.
Tell him not to be safetying up. I got him on my fantasy team.
Okay,
Well,
I tell you what he did
Have you looked at the standing stud?
I
You
did.
need it. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? And we've talked about this after that 1 year.
Right.
He did say one thing. He said, I'll throw this last one down and hold him down till I know I've got a flag.
And I'll tell you
That
something
could
else,
cost
but
him.
how about tonight?
Yes.
He relaxed a little, and that nose of that steer was this far away
We
from
talked
him.
about it when he got through. He came over there and he said, hey, I just got to throw one down tomorrow night. And I said, yeah, but do you remember?
Keep that son
He
of a
said, I will hold him
Okay.
down.
Okay, there we go. Jade Clay. They've all but put a dagger in it tonight, okay? Tight races, okay, the nail biters. If you paid out the average tonight, Spencer Wright's your world champion by about 4,500 over Court Shear. Spencer Wright has a 35.5-point lead in the average. He is not losing the average if he covers his horse. If Court is 95.5 on his horse and Spencer is 60, he still wins the average, okay? So if Spencer covers his horse, that 49 grand for first is his, okay? It's beat this road all year long, and it's down to 1/8-second ride, okay? Because the day money is going to separate them. There's about $3,000 difference between each spot in a payday. So if you win 19 for first, you win just shy of 16 for second. You win just shy of 12 for third. So I mean, you just got to watch. Where does Court finish in relation to Spencer to have a shot, okay? They're not so much a nail biter in the tie-down roping. It's pretty much tough. She's got to go out and rope a calf. He beat Matt tonight. If he did, Matt's holding on to the average by about 2/10 of a second lead. So Matt's good, or 2 seconds maybe even. Yeah, Matt's good in the average. He's pretty solid. He can tie one in 10 and have tough one, tie one in 8, and he'd still be okay. But that would still leave him $15,000 shy of catching tough. Trevor is going to be about 30 grand behind if we paid it out tonight. So Trevor's got to go for a day money, let the average take care of itself, and see what Tough and Matt do. The good thing is it'll go Trevor, Matt, Tough tomorrow, okay? In the barrel racing, Lisa Lockhart edges Fallon Taylor by $1,020. She has a 2/10 of a second lead in the average. So she can run a 13.8 or a 14.1 when Fallon runs a 13.8. It'll go Bass, Lockhart, Taylor. That'll be your last 3 in the barrel racing. Bass, Lockhart, Taylor. So Lockhart's going to have to set the pace. But if Fallon isn't within 2/10 of a second, then that's $8,000 to the good for Lisa. And right now, that would be good enough to give her a $1,000 win in the world, about $1,020. Bull riding, the only thing that's we have left to decide there is whether or not Sage crosses the $320,000 mark. That's a 10-year-old record held by Matt Austin. He won $320,000 in 2005. I think I think Sage will do it. I really do. He's guaranteed to the 50,000 for the average. No one can catch him there by virtue of the fact that he rode tonight, and Trey didn't. Okay, or Joe did. Joe did, but Joe can't catch him now.
I want to say one thing. You know, tonight, if Joe won first tonight and tomorrow, and Sage bucked off tonight and tomorrow, he had a shot to win the average. But what I liked about it best is he's riding before Sage, and not only he makes the whistle, makes a really good ride. That he applied as much pressure as could possibly be brought to bear on Sage, knowing, you know, and then you have to start bragging on Sage, because when it comes down to all you got to do is just make the whistle, that's the hardest one ever to ride.
Can I just say the Ram Top Gun Award, the first 2 years it was awarded, it went to a barrel racer, and you can see why. They don't buck off, right? They don't buck off. They're going to get 10 runs in. They leave the barrel stand. You can see why Mary Walker and Sherry Servey rode out of here with that truck. Who would have predicted that a bull rider?
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
They're going to have to give him the keys.
They're going to have. And the only person that might be able to change that is 3. Spencer, Lisa, or Fallon might be able to change it if Sage falls off and doesn't get the extra money there, but because they're all in the average hunt. You know, Spencer's going to get another 49,000. I just pointed it out. I mean, the guy next closest to him could be 94.5, he can be 60. So as long as he rides his horse, he's going to be in the hunt for that truck. But at the end of the day, the smart money, the very wise money goes on Sage Kimzey. And to me, it's not just impressive. First of all, with Joe, tomorrow night he's going to treat it like it's a one-header and try to win 19,000. You know that. He's not taking the day off. But at the end of the day, to have a bull rider, 1963 was the last time a rookie bull rider won the world championship. 1963. 51 years, people. This is history in the making, and we're watching Sage make it, okay? Number 2, he is on pace to shatter a single-season earnings record, which next year will mean nothing, because once the rounds in the average go up the way they're going a year from now, all money records are going to fall by the wayside. But if he rides 9 of 10, to me that's more impressive than when Jim Sharp rode all 10 the first time. It really is, because the bulls are different. The bulls are different. They're not your father's Oldsmobile. This is a different kind of bull these days. And I just think Sage has been in a zone that you hope your quarterback is in, you hope your pitcher is in, you hope your home run hitter is in. He's just been in a zone. He said it last night. He didn't believe anything can throw him off. And he believes it, and it's coming to pass. But those are your races. The nail biters are really the barrel racing and the saddle bronc riding. There's still something to be decided in the calf roping, although the ones that are almost all but finished are the bareback, steer wrestling, team roping, and bull riding.
Yeah. And you could see when Trevor rode out in the team roping tonight.
Oh, what Mr. Joe? Analyze that one for me.
Yeah.
You never see Trevor Brazile look like he's in a bind. And tonight, when he took that first swing, he looked like he was in a bind and behind. And I thought to myself, no, and it was too late. He was trying to put enough pressure on Jade and Clay to where he thought he could bring Travis into a world championship. There's your team deal. Trevor hates worse than anything in the world to let a team member down. He's cost himself a couple steer open buckles, and we talked about it not going to steer open rodeos because he feels like he can't give his healer the shortcomings.
Do you remember the year that Clay lost his...
Jake lost his thumb. Trevor got on.
And I remember him sitting on this stage, and I'm going, hey. He goes, dude, this guy's trying to win a world championship. I'm here for him. This isn't about me.
And that's all it was tonight. He was trying to bring Travis up, and he took a throw with a 50-50 chance of working. It didn't work, so I knew in the calf roping they were in trouble because that's just one guy won't even.
I've never seen him pale sick.
He was sick.
He was pale.
When he handed his stuff to this kid takes care of his horses, he came back around there in the moat, and he walked up behind me, and he bumped me like that, and he went. And he never has an oh shit look on his face. And tonight he was, physically sick in his stomach for what he caused Travis Graves, not what he caused Trevor Brazile.
Yep, I saw that as well. But our time is just done here. I want Joe. They asked Joe and Donnie and I a question before we started tonight that we've talked rodeo, and we didn't know the answer to it. And so it's about next year and the Thomas and Mack adding seats. Is there going to be more seating? I know that was a part of the debate when they were talking about changing arenas here in town and the whole Las Vegas thing. Do either one of you know that?
I see nothing. Shit, I thought I was blind till I seen you walk through the door.
I've heard the same stories that everybody else has heard. If you think about it logistically, what it would take to reconfigure the seating configuration that's in there now, it's more than just this rodeo. There's so many other events in that venue. It'd be very difficult to do anything in a short period of time when that building's it's not dark very many days. And who are you going to say, you're out of your season, we're going to shut this down for 60, 80 days, and there is a great amount of revenue that the university gets, and they're not going to go dark for 90 days for another maybe 1,500 seats.
And so we really don't know still.
No, we don't know.
No,
we don't know.
But I know that was a part of the discussion at first. There was going to be another arena in town.
There are people that want to bring an NBA basketball team to this town.
Yeah.
There's been talk about an arena for that would also be able to host the national finals. There's a lot of talk. It's a little bit like the Astrodome in Houston, okay? It cost $53 or $55 million or something like that to build it, and they still owe like $40 million on what it cost to build it originally 40 years ago, and now it costs $300 million to tear it down, so it sits there like an albatross in the center of that NRG complex. So there's city money, there's university money, there's all kinds of different things that come into play that are way beyond my pay grade. You know,
Yep.
I don't know.
Okay, well, we had that question. I wanted to address that. Tomorrow night is round 10 of the National Finals Rodeo, and I can't wait. And I know that all these guys feel the same. We're glad that you came to be with us tonight. And would you please thank Joe Beaver, Mr. Josh Edwards, Mr. Boyd Pohamus, Donnie Gay, and Bob Tallman for being with us here tonight.
And Dan Miller for doing all the work.
Let me tell you, we have prizes to give away for you. We're going to do that very quickly. Let us say goodbye here to the television crew, and we'll run our credits for that. And then stay with us. We have a lot of prizes, including a guitar back here signed by Mr. George Strait. Thank you for coming this evening, and good night.
Watching and attending the show. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of National Finals Tonight at the Gold Coast, where all the Cowboys go after the rodeo. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same place. This has been a presentation of Boyd Gaming, riding for the brand. Fun isn't over yet. We invite you to head upstairs for Gary LaFew's legendary Buck and Ball. Live music and dancing with Las Vegas favorite, the Tony Marcus Band. Beer and drink specials, and best of all, no cover charge. We're gonna dance and party till the cows come home at the Buck and Ball.
Gotta